Hi, my name is Rick Clovis. I work with Oklahoma State University Extension, and this is part of the series we've been doing on growing giant pumpkins. So I've got my assistants here with me today. My grandkids, Liza Leaforce and Stephen Gates, are going to help us. And this video is going to be on getting your seedling planted. We're going to plant ours in pots, but if you want, just going to plant yours directly into the ground or whatever. We're gonna have some seedlings available. We're gonna plant about 20 today. So let us know if you're interested in getting one of those seedlings, or if you want your own seed to grow, we can get that to you as well. So with that, we're gonna get started on these seed. This is the giant pumpkin, if you can see the size of that, versus a regular pumpkin seed. You can see how much bigger they are. So you need to file down the edges in order to help those seeds open up. That's part of the process, and to get them to germinate quickly. So we're going to show you how to do that. If you guys will get started doing that, you want to file the edge. There you go, Stephen. Take that and file it down, and we'll show you a close-up here in a little bit of what it. All right, Liza and I are going to show you what the edge of the seed needs to look like after you've filed it down, and that's going to help it open up and germinate once we put it in the ground. So we're going to show you one seed that hasn't been filed and one seed that has been filed. So okay, Liza, go ahead and hold the seeds up there. So you can see on this seed right here, that light little brown line in the middle, that's the one that's been filed down. That's enough. You've taken it down enough right there. And then on this other seed, you can see there's no line yet. This one has not been filed down yet. So you start with this, and you want to stop when it starts getting to this point. Needs to look like, just take an emery board and lightly do the edges, and you're going to do it till a line forms on that, and we'll show you a close-up of what that looks like here in a little bit too. But you're trying to get that just cracked where it's going to open up, and then we're going to soak it in hydrogen peroxide to get it ready to go, and then we're going to soak it in water as well for about 4 hours. Then we're going to plant it into the pots. So while they're getting those seeds ready, I wanted to go over some of the kind of the supplies you may be needing coming up if you're wanting to take part in this. We've got just regular potting soil here. It doesn't have to be anything special, just regular potting soil. And then you're going to need some kind of fertilizer. We're just going to use regular straight fertilizer. We've done our soil test. Look at some of our previous videos if you want to on how to soil test. And our soil showed that it just needs nitrogen is all that it's going to need. So we've got this basic fertilizer we're going to use for that. And also, so this is growing giant pumpkins. You're gonna baby these pumpkins all the way through. You're going to give them everything they need. So you need to have your supplies ready in case some problem rises, because if they start getting you need powdery mildew. Fungus is a big problem on pumpkins, especially if we have kind of a wet year. You need some kind of fungus control. This Daconil is kind of the main thing that most people use. You probably need to get on some kind of weekly program with that. Read the label and use that and have it ready to use, or even start using it before you have problems so you prevent those from starting. And if you're going to try to grow organic, you can use a 40% solution of skim milk and water and spray that on your leaves every week, and that works pretty well. It doesn't work as well as a commercial fungicides, but it does work. Or also you need to have something like just regular 07 ready for the bugs. There's going to be insect problems, squash bugs, cucumber beetles, those kinds of things that you need to be ready for. Aphids are a problem on pumpkins, so you want to be sure you're taking care of those pumpkins and not letting them spend one day stressed with getting insects on them or fungal growth, those kinds of things. So have your supplies ready, those things to go, so when a problem arises, you've got the thing to do to take care of it. How's it going?
Wait.
You got that one ready? Okay, to review, we've got all our seeds done now. We're going to be planting about 20 seeds. So just to review what we did, you're going to take an emery board and file down the edges. We'll show you a close-up of what that's going to look like all the way around, except for the point. You don't want to do that. Just leave that completely alone. That's where the roots are going to come out, so be sure and don't file that down. Then we're going to put them all here in a bowl. We're going to take some hydrogen peroxide, and we're going to cover them up, and we're going to let them soak there for about 30 minutes in this hydrogen peroxide. Then we're going to take them out of that and put them in water, and you can add a teaspoon of liquid seaweed if you have that, and let them soak for 4 to 6 hours. And that's just going to soften up that seed, the shell around the seed, and help it to germinate quicker, so they'll come up out of the ground and get going, and we'll be ready to put them in the ground. And you know, in nature they would have been spent the winter out underground somewhere, and they would have been exposed to all the elements, and that would have been naturally softening that shell up, getting it ready to germinate and soften up, that the shell, when it gets wet, it'll go ahead and germinate, and the plant can get out of it. These have been in the refrigerator, dry all winter, so haven't gone through that process yet, and that's what we were just showing you how to do. So next we're going to show you how to get them into the pot.
And here are the pot.
Hi, we're back. Now we're going to do the potting part of doing this, putting the soil into the pots and then putting the seed in there with it. And we're going to use these peat pots. I've never used them before, but they're made to you. Once you start your seeding and it sprouts, you can then just go and put it directly in the ground, and it will disintegrate and fall apart, and you don't have to worry about the plant not doing well or too much soil falling off the roots as you transplant it back into the ground outside. So we're gonna mix up our soil, our potting soil we've got here in a bucket. You wanna get it pretty wet. The right moisture level is when you take a handful and squeeze it, it just has a drop of water come out of it. That's the amount we're gonna use, so we're gonna show you how to do that right now. So while we're back, I forgot to mention when we had the seeds up close before, that if you have writing on your seed, like you can see this says 752, that's how much the pumpkin that this seed came out of weighed. Also, they have someone's name on them, like this is Cyber, so you know the grower that grew the plant, or some of them have just the year that they were grown. 2018 was when this plant was grown, so it's 2 years old today. So just when you get your seeds, you know what those are. Stephen and Liza, come around here and help me. We're gonna dump our soil here into a bucket. And as you can see, when you get a handful, it has no moisture in it now. So you guys, I'm gonna pour this water in there, and I want you to stick your hands down in there and get this all mixed up together.
Pull it up. We had too little and now too much.
Let me put some more dry soil in there.
Oh, you're just
I think that's about right. Does a drop of water come out? Yeah, that's about right there. I think we've got it.
It's even soft.
All right, so let's go get cleaned up a little bit, and we'll show them how to do the rest of it.
We're back.
So we got cleaned up a little bit. We've got our soil, the right moisture, the right water content. So now we're going to dip it out of the bucket, and we're going to fill up our individual pots. So you guys go ahead and do that.
Take a little bit of time.
While they're doing this, also you can get on, if you do Facebook, there's the group that's sponsoring this is called the Oklahoma Giant Pumpkin Growers Association, and they've got a website, and we've got a link back in some of our previous videos, an introduction video, if you want to go back and look at that, and it tells you how to get some more information, some more detailed information if you're really going to get into this and want to do some of the stuff that takes daily work as far as the care and making sure your plant's getting everything it needs. You can look those up. Also, you can look on Pumpkin Mom is the Facebook page of the lady that's really been behind all this. If anything else, just get on there and thank her for sponsoring this. She made sure that we've got all these seeds all around the state for this contest. So be sure and look her up on Facebook, Pumpkin Mom. Okay, that didn't take long. So we got our pots all filled with soil. Now we need to we got them all packed down. We want to plant the pumpkin seeds about 1 inch deep. So we need to take our finger and just make a hole right in the center of the pot. And then take a seed and point it with the pointed side down and cover it up in there. You gonna do it, Stephen? You gonna help plant pumpkins?
Yes.
We're gonna take some saran wrap and we're gonna seal over everyone individually. I'm gonna hand you guys this, and that's gonna keep the moisture in and keep them from drying out too quick as we put them. We're gonna have them in an 88-degree room, trying to keep it warm, and that's the best temperature they're gonna germinate at, and that's gonna, the plastic wrap is gonna keep the moisture in, because we don't really wanna water them for 3 or 4 days, because it'll be real easy to overwater them as a seedling.
Put it over one.
There, that wasn't so hard, didn't take long. Thank goodness for Fast Forward. Thank you to Nana off camera for being a better plastic wrap ripper than we are. And so we've got all our seeds planted now. We're gonna go put them under a grow light. It doesn't even, if you don't have a grow light, that's fine. Just a good open window will work, and keep them as warm as you can. Set them on a individual, like you can put on top of the TV, on top of your direct TV box, something like that, top of the refrigerator, someplace that's warm to get them growing good. And then it should take 3 or 4 days, and they should be popping up out of the ground. Then maybe give them 3 or 4 more days, and depending on the weather, they'll be ready to go outside. And we'll talk more next time about maybe hardening these seedlings off, getting them used to the cool weather if they're used to growing inside. Or if you like, you can just do this directly into your garden. That's up to you. And I'm going to see how we've got this NASA certified giant pumpkin growing greenhouse arborarium, and so we just want to show you how we're going to do this. So as she pans over there, you can see we've got a grow light set up here, and I've just got the pumpkins underneath that. We've got a window that's going to help us with some sunlight. This room has got an individual thermostat, so we've got the heat cranked up in it, and this is how we're going to grow our pumpkins out. We'll see how it works. All right, thanks for watching, and remember to
Like, subscribe.
and turn on notifications.